Fifth anniversary. The
Well, I'm very, very excited to get an opportunity to connect with some of my teammates, guys who I've forged a lifelong bond with, to get a chance to see them honored and recognized for the accomplishments and for the things we were able to do while I played here. So for me, I'm more excited for them because I actually get an opportunity to live it every day. Being in the state, working here at the university, I get a chance to really, stick my chest out on a daily basis. So for those guys and their families that have the opportunity to experience that, I'm very, very excited for those guys.
They had one of these in 2000. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Scott. Scotty, how much are you able to stay in touch with the guys from that team? And if there's some guys you maybe haven't talked to in a while, who would those be, and how good will it be to catch up with those guys?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I mean, I'm probably one of the only guys on that team that pretty much stays in consistent contact with all of them. I think Clint McDaniel and I are probably the only ones who haven't spoken maybe in the last couple of months, but I mean, I speak to Corliss pretty much weekly. He won't be able to be here at the time due to the fact that he's working, but talk to him all the time, talk to Dwight Stewart all the time. Corey Beck is here in town. I get an opportunity to visit with him quite often. Al Dillard texts me pretty much on a weekly basis, and we talk. Roger Crawford the same. So I've always prided myself on kind of being somewhat of a connection between all of us because obviously we've all grown up and gone our own separate ways, but I take great pride in remaining in contact with those guys.
25 years later, what's the bond like with the guys?
It's still close. I mean, we'll get an opportunity to connect, and even though all of us don't obviously live in this area, we remain in contact either through, social media or just texting or conversing over the phone. But I think it'll be very, very fun to share some of the stories and things that we remember from the past. But, I mean, it's just a bond that'll never be broken. Not very many teams get an opportunity to accomplish what we did. And we take great pride in the fact that not only we did it, but we did it together. No one really expected us to accomplish that feat. If you go back and look at when I came in as a freshman and the opportunity that we had coming in behind Todd Day and those guys, I think we were preseason like 48th. And it's amazing now to hear the narrative change somewhat, and everybody says, oh, that class was loaded, those guys were loaded. Well, it's kind of funny. Had we not won it, but we had been loaded. So I always go back and think about the things that Coach Richardson told us, guys always thinking that maybe this guy's not the greatest or that guy's not the greatest, but when you put a group together and they go together for one common goal and they fight together for it, what you can accomplish, and we were fortunate enough to do so.
Back when I guess they had one in 2009, and I don't even think you're back on the staff yet. How different is it being an Arkansas assistant coach going through this reunion?
Very different. Very different because I never really imagined that I'd be in this situation, much less when I was 18, 19 years old. But it's something I take great pride in. I mean, I walk around this state and anywhere else in the country with my chest poked out, very proud of this program, what we are able to accomplish, and, I'm doing everything in my power to try to help us get back to that level.
Scotty, what are you anticipating from the crowd, the atmosphere? I know it's a noon game, so it's kind of early, but do you think it'll be a really strong, big atmosphere? And if so, how could that help a team that's been struggling to win lately?
Well, I think it'll be electric. I think people are going to come out and show up. I think there's a lot of fans that are very, very anxious to see some of the former guys. But I think also, if you think about it, even though we haven't come up with some of the wins we'd like to, the crowd support has still been there, in my opinion. I think the crowd has shown up, and hopefully they'll continue to show up. And I think that game will definitely be something that allow those guys to, get energized from.
Being on the other side of it, how difficult, I mean, that's a great legacy, but how difficult it's been for future other teams since then to live up to it, and kind of having that standard set up, measured against?
Well, I mean, I think it's definitely kind of like the elephant in the room. I think each and every individual that comes in here as a student athlete wants to have an opportunity to fight for that. And I think that these guys are doing a good job and as far as trying to get better. But I think obviously we got some work to do, and we're ready to roll our sleeves up and continue to get it done.
Scotty, everybody talks about the iconic shot you made. When you saw Dwight Stewart bobble the ball, do you remember having a consciousness of what the shot clock was, or did you peek at it at some point, and how did that go about?
Well, I actually peeked at it when Corey drove baseline. When he went baseline, I think there was like 8 or 9 seconds. And he was trying to go drive to score after he realized he couldn't get the basketball in the Corliss on the block. That opportunity presented itself, so he passed it out to Dwight. And I was kind of on the left block, so to speak, looking and seeing what Dwight was going to do. And the moment I saw Antonio Lane lose sight of me, I just flashed out to the wing and was able to catch the ball. I thought Dwight was going to shoot the basketball, and I tell people this each and every day. Had he not bobbled it and taken a shot, I think he would have made it. But fortunately for him, he was unselfish enough, and that's something that Coach Richardson always talked about, was guys giving up themselves. How many people would have panicked in that spot? I probably would have shot it anyway had I fumbled it, but he had the presence of mind to gather himself and pass the basketball, and fortunately for me, I was able to make the shot.
Is it just kind of hard to believe it's been 25 years? Or how do you feel about that?
It's very hard to believe. I mean, time flies. We all know that time doesn't wait for anyone. But 25 years, it's gone by extremely fast. I don't feel a day older, but that's actually, my kids get an opportunity to joke about it a little bit and try to make me feel somewhat a lot older than I am. But I look at it like this: anytime you can be recognized for something that's never been done, and you're able to actually be here living to experience it, it's something I take pride in. A lot of people get acknowledged when they're, gone and passed away. So I'm very, very fortunate.
Yeah, something about Isaiah too. He's on the verge of breaking your school record. How much have you worked with Isaiah? How much do you think you've helped him? Just what have you thought about his season and the fact he's about to break your record?
I think I've helped him a little. I mean, Isaiah was a great shooter when he came in. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think what I've been able to try to help him with is getting the game to slow down for him, understanding when he's open, when he's not, taking contested threes versus open threes, never really feeling rushed, as opposed to knowing when you can set your man up, whether it's coming off of a screen, whether it's going and pick and roll in different situations. And him being as smart as he is, I like to think I probably just helped him a little bit, because I give a lot of credit to him. I mean, he's done a good job of coming in here and embracing what's been placed upon him. And, being a freshman, he reminds me a lot of myself in just terms of his body type. But I think he's done a great job of just embracing his role, and he continues to try to give it to us each and every night, and I think he's to be commended for it.
He's probably going to break your record, barring something weird. What do you think about that? And you're going to help him do it, too.
I mean, I want to help him break some more. I mean, I'm not really into records. For me, when I was young and playing, that was a big deal for me. But, now that my playing career is over, I hope he breaks every record, every set, because that means I'm doing my job and helping him get better. And that's my only focus, for Isaiah to get better, for our team to get better, and not so much as about me.
I know you get asked a lot about the three-point shot. Does it ever, against Duke, does it ever get old? And if you saw that Zion Williamson play the other day, are you glad? I mean, are you glad he wasn't the one trying to block that shot?
Well, I probably would have got fouled if it would have been him. I probably just stood in there and just took the contact. But, I mean, I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to make the shot. But, being a competitor and having played this game for so many years after playing college and even playing in high school before, I made a lot of big shots in my career. Very proud of that one, but I'd like to think I made several more. So, I don't really walk around each and every day being that concerned about it. But, when you get recognized, you live in this area, people are going to bring it up, and I think it's something that it could be a lot worse. Have I missed it? If I missed it, people wouldn't have anything to talk about. So it doesn't really bother me. Sometimes as a competitor, you want people to think that you're more than just one shot. But it's something I've always prided myself on, being good at what I do, but also being versatile. I think I was a versatile player. Even though I get recognized for one shot, I think I'm a versatile person because I've been able to do so many things. So I don't really get caught up in it. I just try to enjoy it with the people who I had an effect on, and listen to the stories that they tell me about where they were when it happened. All that stuff for me is exciting and good stuff.
Anything else?
Yeah, I guess aside from the shot in the national title game, do you have a favorite memory from the title run?
My probably most favorite memory, which it wasn't my favorite at the time, was when I think we had a mix-up and shoot-around times before the game. And, normally you get 45 minutes to prepare. They only gave us like 3 or 4 because there was a mix-up. So when we arrived at the gym, we really didn't have an ample amount of time to shoot. But I just remember Coach Richardson just taking that and twisting it and making it become something that we use as somewhat fuel for the fire. We were already feeling like we were underestimated, not respected. So for us, it was just like another sign of a lack of respect. And for us to be able to come back from that, not having to shoot around, not being able to prepare properly against a team that was basically in their home state that I'm sure their times weren't mixed up, to be able to get the win, I think that symbolizes it all for me.